Be assertive, but not aggressive. Do you have a hard time getting your point across? Maybe you don't mind standing up for yourself, but it seems like no one listens when you voice your opinion. When you do build up the nerve to assert yourself, it just doesn't end well. People say you're being aggressive or acting like a bully. If you're wondering how to be more assertive so that you can get your voice heard, you're not alone. A lot of people feel like they could be better served if they knew how to communicate with assertiveness, but without being seen as overly aggressive. If you're used to being passive in nature, is it okay to flex your aggressiveness muscles from time to time? Is being aggressive the same thing as being assertive? Let's dig deeper to discover the similarities and differences of these styles of communication. No More Mr. Nice Guy. That's the title of a book written by Dr. Robert Glover. In it, he points out that if you don't embrace being assertive regularly, your emotions can blow up and you may attack someone. Here's an example. Imagine you're generally a passive person. You feel like being assertive makes you selfish. It's certainly wonderful to care about the needs of others. Some people are selfish and never worry about what they can do to help their friends and loved ones. Over time, your passivity gets out of control. You realize that some of your friends are taking advantage of you, whether they realize they're doing it or not. You continue to say yes when people ask favors rather than being assertive and standing up for your needs. Your emotions continue to boil in the background. You've made a habit out of being passive, so people believe that's who you are and the way you like to be. A friend that always asks for a favor does it one more time. Your emotions get the better of you and you explode with aggression. You scream and yell and talk about that person not caring about you and say that you never want to see them again. That's aggressiveness. It's certainly being assertive, but in a negative way. That brings us to the difference between being assertive and aggressive. Assertiveness is standing up for yourself and speaking your mind without causing harm to others. It's being confident to look out for your own best interests while respecting the needs of others. Aggressiveness is a form of communication that's confrontational. You don't care what happens to anyone other than you. This individual is forceful and possibly even bullying, with no regard to the needs of others. Being assertive is okay. You make sure your needs are being met without stepping on the needs or rights of others. Aggression is selfish and one-sided. You'll get more of your needs taken care of when you're assertive. You talk about your feelings and what you want out of the situation. You communicate that having your needs met doesn't mean that others will suffer. The key to avoiding aggressive outbursts is to practice assertiveness regularly. You can do it concerning small things. Then, when you have to deal with a bigger issue, you'll feel more comfortable addressing your needs. People respect assertive individuals, while aggression isn't going to make you too many friends. 5 times when you should be assertive. Some people see assertiveness as a dirty word. They think that if you draw a line in the sand and stand up for yourself, you're being selfish. If you're looking after your needs and interests and somebody else pays the price, then you're being assertive to the point of selfish aggressiveness. That's not what being assertive is all about. Asserting yourself simply means respecting that other people have needs, but you're going to look after your own. Done effectively, being assertive addresses anyone else involved in the actions you're going to take. You communicate clearly that while you're looking after yourself, you won't be causing any negative impact to them. In many cases, intelligent assertiveness will address your needs while also taking care of someone else. You instantly become the most popular person in the room if you can make that happen. When is this a smart practice? When should you adopt more of an assertive attitude rather than putting your needs on the back burner and taking care of them later? Here are 5 times when it definitely makes sense to be assertive. 1. You can't look at yourself in the mirror. You might think this doesn't happen, but it definitely does. Some people serve others to the point that they underserve themselves. When they're in the presence of other people, they like to be the person that's helping everyone. Sometimes when they get home and have to look at themselves in the mirror, they're filled with frustration and regret. They're mad at themselves for not taking care of their needs first, at least every once in a while. If your lack of ability to speak up on your own behalf causes you to despise the person in your mirror, it's high time to start being more assertive. 2. You're about to explode. Your needs are just as important as those of anyone else. You deserve to address your needs, wants, and desires. If you ignore who you are to the point that you never stand up for what you want and let people know your opinion, negative emotions can build up. This could lead to a verbal or physical outburst that isn't good for anyone. Before you aggressively make a statement about your needs or speak your mind, pump the brakes, calm down. Start asserting yourself rather than being boisterous and aggressive. Practice assertiveness in small ways every day, and you can avoid an explosion of emotions that will never get your needs addressed. 3. You have children. You want nothing but the best for your kids. You strive to provide them with the best opportunities and a foundation which allows them to grow into healthy, responsible adults. That means showing them that you respect yourself. Children are copycats. If you let the world walk over you and you don't assert yourself when you should, you can expect that same behavior from your children. 4. When relationships aren't 50-50. You may have heard that healthy relationships have a lot of give and take. This is true. However, you shouldn't be the only one doing the giving. When important relationships with your friends, family, and coworkers aren't mutually beneficial, it's time to assert yourself. 5. When you need to address health concerns. You should definitely speak up if your health is suffering. It might be that you simply haven't communicated that there might be a problem. Rather than ignoring something that could potentially develop into a real issue with your health, speak up. It might be scary. Even so, you deserve to be healthy and happy. That might not happen if you don't address health and wellness needs that aren't being met or respected. These are just a few times when you should definitely be more assertive. Look at your own life. I'm sure you can identify when you could benefit from more assertiveness. If you feel you're being underserved in any area of your life, assert yourself and take a proactive role in creating the desired outcome. Being more assertive can help you avoid the 6 leading causes of death. If you're thinking the title is a little misleading or heavy-handed, trust us, it's not. One of the most immediate rewards of assertiveness is stress relief. A person finally feels like they've had enough, so they stand up for themselves. They let people know what's on their mind. A person feels slighted or as if their needs aren't being met, so they take a stand. Being assertive means that this individual doesn't step on anyone's toes. They calmly but confidently express their thoughts without anyone else suffering. The aggressive individual doesn't care if his or her behaviors negatively impact others. The assertive person considers the feelings and thoughts of others. That's why you can consider assertiveness as a type of selfless selfishness. It's a positive way to be selfish. You're taking care of you. There are things on your mind that you have to get out and areas where you feel your concerns and needs aren't being addressed. The selflessness shows up when you start asserting yourself without causing others any negative feelings or outcomes. As a stress-relieving device, being assertive goes to work almost immediately. As your stress leaves your mind and body, the physiological impact automatically makes you less likely to experience the 6 leading causes of death. Being assertive can truly be a lifesaver. The American Psychological Association, or APA, wants you to understand how deadly chronic stress can be. They report that the 6 most common causes of death are directly linked to regular doses of stress. Those causes are 1. Heart disease, 2. Cancer, 3. Lung ailments, 4. Accidents, 5. Cirrhosis of the liver, 6. Suicide. The morbidity and mortality due to stress-related illnesses is alarming. Emotional stress is a major contributing factor to the 6 leading causes of death in the United States: cancer, coronary heart disease, accidental injuries, respiratory disorders, cirrhosis of the liver, and suicide. That statement comes to us from the National Institutes of Health. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, says that stress accounts for roughly 75% of all doctor's visits. Stress is a killer, and assertiveness relieves stress. Being assertive is confidently speaking up for yourself. It's looking after your best interests in a way that respects the beliefs and rights of others. One of the immediate benefits is stress relief. If you've been silent about some issue that's been bothering you for a long time and you finally speak up for yourself, it feels amazing. You feel like a weight's been lifted from your shoulders. There's a boost in self-esteem. Your confidence goes up. Feelings of stress about the situation you've been harboring for so long instantly begin to disappear. This makes being assertive a simple way to give yourself a health boost. Aside from feeling great, you develop the respect of others. You also improve your chances of avoiding the most common causes of death, and that might be the biggest benefit of assertiveness. Get uncomfortable if you want to be more assertive. We all encounter times in our lives when we wish we would have stood up for ourselves. For some reason, we bit our tongue and things didn't turn out well for us. This could be in some major way or with something inconsequential. A man meets a woman he's attracted to. She's smart and funny, 2 traits he regards very highly. They happen to work together. A friendship is quickly formed and they both enjoy each other's company. The man has had difficulty in his life speaking to women where romance is concerned. Talking to her about work is easy for him. On the other hand, every time he builds up the courage to ask her on a date to take the relationship to a romantic level, he just freezes. He's scared of seeming to be overly aggressive and he doesn't want to hurt her feelings in any way. This man continues to have a positive relationship with this woman at work. They sometimes talk on the phone, but it's always regarding their work. He tells himself that the perfect opportunity will pop up soon and he can tell her how he really feels. The situation goes on like this. One day she tells him she has some great news. He's happy to celebrate anything positive with her. The unfortunate reality is that her good news is bad news for him. She met someone a couple months earlier. They've been dating. She's absolutely in love, and they're going to get married. To say that this man is festering in self-regret and self-loathing for not speaking his mind so long ago is a huge understatement. If you're going to be uncomfortable, do it on your behalf. The man in this example endured a lot of discomfort. He was constantly second-guessing himself. What would she think of him? Was he good enough for her? Did he make enough money for her to date him? What does she look for in a man? Every day that he saw her, his eyes would light up. Then, when work was over and he returned home by himself, negative emotions rushed in. He was so uncomfortable for all the wrong reasons. If he was going to experience feelings of discomfort, why not endure that with the possibility of something great happening? In other words, sometimes we need to step outside of our comfort zones to make amazing things happen. You don't need to do this all at once. Just get uncomfortable a little bit each day. If he would have been just a little more assertive in the beginning, his life may have turned out differently. Even if she turned down his offer to turn a platonic relationship into a romantic one, he would have known from the start. His healing would happen faster. He wouldn't have suffered for so long. It may have hurt his feelings for her to turn him down, but he could have gotten over that before he suffered needlessly for so long. Assert yourself by starting with baby steps. Be assertive in small situations every day. Talk about your needs while respecting the needs of others. Doing this with inconsequential things over time fills you with a sense of pride and confidence. You'll eventually be able to act in a more assertive and respectful manner in more important situations. Stepping outside of your comfort zone can be scary, so don't do it all at once. When you take gradual steps to be more assertive on a regular basis, you form a habit that allows you to stand up for yourself and speak your mind where big matters are concerned. How to be more aggressive. 4 powerful tips. Do you longingly look at other people and wish you were as confident as they are? Many times a lack of confidence is the reason people don't assert themselves. A person might know exactly what she wants. When it comes to verbalizing her needs and prioritizing them, it's difficult. She finds it easier to pipe down and leave her needs unaddressed. This can lead to a negative self-image and a feeling that she doesn't deserve to have her needs met, because if she did, she would do something about it. Does the situation sound familiar to you? Maybe you want to be assertive for some other reason. No matter what's driving your desire to get better at speaking up and protecting your interests, the following 4 simple but powerful tips can help. 1. Take lessons. If you want to learn to play the guitar, you take lessons. The same is true if you need to learn how to drive a car, paint your house, or start a vegetable garden. You seek out people that have already created the reality you're looking for. Why not do that in this situation? Go to someone you admire for being assertive. Get some tips and best practices you can use to be more like them. You may find that sticking up for yourself is easier than you thought it would be when you get some pointers from someone who does it themselves. 2. Spend time with people that value you. Your friends are always there for you. Your family is the same way. They're the first people you think of when you relive wonderful memories. Maybe there are other people who value you as a unique person. People that have expressed an interest in you as more than just someone to do them favors are a real blessing. Spend time around those people that really care about you. They can fill you with the confidence to be more assertive when you're around others. 3. Check your time clock. Tick, tick, tick. Do you hear that? It's the inevitable passage of time. None of us know how long we have here on this wonderful planet called Earth. Every day that slips into your past is one less day you have to live. That might be a little heavy to think about. What it reminds us is that there is no time like the present to live our lives. That means being assertive now and standing up for yourself today, because tomorrow is not promised to anyone. 4. Remind yourself when you were assertive in the past. Sometimes we forget how capable we are. You definitely are. All it takes is a trip down memory lane to remind yourself of previous experiences where assertiveness paid off in a big way. If you've done something once, you can do it again. Being assertive is not being selfish. Selfishness is going after what you want without worrying about possibly harming others. Being assertive addresses your needs while understanding and respecting the needs and feelings of others. Use these 4 powerful but simple tips to practice more assertiveness in your life if you feel your needs are not being addressed.